Good morning, all. Today we are in the third lecture of this series of basic implantology. The topic of discussion today is the designs of an implant. There are various designs in the market. For example, blade implants, root form implants. In root form implants, you have cylindrical type implants, hydroxyapatite coated implants, then plasma sprayed implant, and a lot of new terminologies like internal hex, external hex. So today, let us analyze and see which is the best implant design. What does the history says and what does the researchers says. So researchers always have over a period of time they have learned from their mistakes, and we probably learn from other people mistakes, and we hope will not commit a new mistake again. So let us have a better understanding from the history and the evidences, and we will opt for the best implant design. So probably this class will help you to understand which is the best design of an implant, and new terminologies like internal hex, external hex, so which is having advantage. There are many marketing people who claim that they're mislead you to other concepts of implant. So once you understand the basics of the design of an implant, probably you can able to choose the best system in the world and the most popular system. So we will move on to the topic proper. Welcome back. Now we have done with the classification of implant. Now let us see what are the different types of implant. There are basically two types of implant. One is threaded and other one is non-threaded. Threaded is like a conventional screw design. A thread will be wound around the core of the screw, and the non-threaded implants or cylindrical implants is a cylinder sort of shape, and you can see a through and through hole in the cylinder. So it's having both is having advantages and disadvantages. Now this is a titanium screw threaded implants. Almost a parallel threads are there. Now let us see the macro form of it. Here this is called pitch of an implant. You have V-shaped pitch and square pitch. The more the depth of the pitch is, the more the engaging the screw will be. It is very logical to think that like that, isn't it? So if you have type 3 or loose bone, type 4 type of D3 or D4 type of bone, we will use these type of deep threaded implants. Now this is another picture of a threaded implants. This is one common design and which is very popular. Now nowadays we are using root form implants. It is not in a perfect cylinder, it is in the shape of a root. The apex is tapered inside. So there is certain advantage for these implants. Ideally, an implant to implant distance inside the bone should be 3 millimeter. And imagine our tooth are little tipped outside. So the apex of the implant will be tapered inside. So this peculiar design will helps to maintain the interradicular bone. So it is as the tooth is tipped inside, the apex will be in a converging design. So as it is having a convergence, the apex will have ideally there will be an inter implant distance, so that this implant root form implants is having certain advantage. All right, this is different types of designs of implant. This is a single stage implant. This is a two-stage implant. The techniques will come to in the coming session. There are the technique also is slightly different. So in single stage implant, the fixture as well as the abutment comes as a single piece. Whereas in two-stage implant, we fix the fixture implant in the bone and close the mucosa. After a healing period, we open up as a second stage surgery and we fix the abutment over it, or a prosthesis over it. Now, this is another company manufacturer, Trinon, which is with a single piece implant. the fixture and abutment with a solid neck of an implant. It is having its an advantage like immediate loading and all. Now Zimmer is another company, world renowned company. Uh, they are also having different designs of implant. One is this is threaded and having single piece implant and internal legs. We'll come to that internal legs later. This is a single piece implant. This is two-stage implants. And let us see, this is one important thing. How does the top of an implant looks? The top of an implant is in a hexagonal shape, and this is the shape of a nut or a bolt. All right. Now the bolt is jutting out from the implant surface. This is for to have an anti-rotational property, like if the implant fixture and the abutment engages each other, it will have an anti-rotational property. So many implant company will claim to have advantage of these eggs. This, the type of hex. This is hexagonal means six side is there. That is why it is called hex. Various designs of hex are there. Here, this is external hex. The hex is outside the implant, and you have internal hex where the hex is incorporated inside the head of an implant. So ideally, internal hex has certain physical properties better than external hex because it is having an anti-rotational property, and the force, the lateral force is more towards the axial line. So, and it is towards the base of an implant. So internal hex is having little advantage over the external hex. And imagine after the implant surgery, we put the fixture, and the bone tends to grow into the internal hex. If you're closing the flap, the bone tends to overgrow inside the hex, and in the second stage surgery, we find difficult to remove the bone. So immediately after placing the implant, the general technique is we just close the hex with a screw. Either the screw will be a flushing type of screw wherein it may not project outside the implant head, or another design is like a screw which is having a sizable screw head of 3 to 5 millimeters. And when you screw, this is specifically called gingival former. Why this is called a gingival former? Because if you engage this screw head will jut through the mucosa, and it will be there inside, a part of it will be there inside the oral cavity. So if you carefully examine, there is a peculiar shape for this screw head. So after the healing, when you remove the shape, the gingiva tends to cover this, and having this contact area of implant head and the gingiva will be in a perfect cuff shape or a saucer shape, or a concavity will be there in the in the gingiva. So these type of treatment will have a better emergence profile. You know what is emergence profile? The teeth tends to jut through the mucosa. So it appears as though the tooth is piercing the gingiva and coming out. So these type of emergence profile could be kept with the gingival formers. This is one advantage of gingival former. Now let us see different types of implant surfaces. There are two types of implant surfaces. The companies, maybe the manufacturers, will claim the advantage and mesmerize you with the different terminologies and techniques. You should know what is the plasma sprayed surface is, and you should know what is the advantage and what is the limitation of this. Now let us see what is plasma sprayed implants. A core of implant is made or milled with titanium, and to increase the surface area, they sprays the titanium powders in high temperature so that it forms a coating over the titanium screw. Here, the droplets is of size 0.4 to 0.04 to 0.05 millimeters, and it do have certain advantage like surface area definitely increased to 600 percentage, and it stimulates the adhesion of osteoblastic cells, and osteogenesis will be more. Another technique is the hydroxyapatite. Ceramic or the constituent of a bone graft is closely adapted on the implant surface by the manufacturers, and they claims to have more advantage. This is two schools of thought. Both is having its own advantage and disadvantage. You should understand the concept, and then only you should buy and go for a system. Here, this is a cylindrical type of implant where the hydroxyapatite is coating. So it is here there is an apex. The company claims to have anti-rotational property and better retention anchorage because of the bone proliferation inside the. So this is the basic difference. Here, a milled or tuned implant surface with titanium is very smooth in microscopic appearance. In hydroxyapatite, there are crypts, and the projection, dome-shaped projection, and the surface reference ultimately increases the surface area. So the bone implant interface is going to be more in the hydroxyapatite coated implants. Now, little more zooming in, you can see there is a dome shape. Inside the dome itself, you can see depressions or crypts, and there is depressions which is deeply placed so that the adhesion of the implant will be more. So again, a historical picture where from with a live bone has been taken, and titanium hydroxyapatite is coated and bone interface. So there are two schools of thought. One is Brannemark system where pure titanium, commercially pure titanium is being used, and the other one is a hydroxy coated surface which is proposed by G-Sing in 1987. So but of late, this system tends to, the hydroxyapatite tends to, peel off from the implant interface. So this is having certain disadvantage. Probably the technique has to evolve further, and in coming future, probably these better metallurgy and metal understanding regarding the interface probably comes with a better system. So thank you.